Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day, and today we are here with a video on how much is too much in old school RuneScape. It's going to be based around just my opinions of the Runelite client, some things that I've seen recently, and some things that I just don't enjoy. This is mostly just going to be me talking and explaining my opinion, so if you don't enjoy that type of stuff, well then, you know what to do. But that's what we're going to do, that's what we're going to go ahead and get into. I know I'm going to make some people upset. The people that are upset, I'll rationalize with you at the end. If you don't have the time to listen to the end, leave your mean comment, that's okay. We understand. With that said though, let's go ahead and get on into it. It's going to be interesting. So this is tough. I mean, in regards to old school RuneScape, the client has never been something that's been good. The RuneScape client has been horrible. They really have never made an effort to, make it functional on the level that these other, Runelite, OS Buddy, whatever you used back in the day, there used to be a ton of clients. They've never really tried to even come close. And that's left us with basically being in this position where we are today, which is where Runelite is essentially, it's not really, run by Jagex in any way, but if they do have anything that they see is just game breaking or too busted, Runelite will go through and then take it out. But when does that line get crossed? When is something too busted that it has to be taken out? It's pretty arbitrary, and that's the thing. We have a client that adds tons of things, and the only real time anything ever gets taken back is when it just gets seen as one step too far. And there are a couple things, in my opinion, that exist within this client that are a few steps too far already, but we just are desensitized to it, because that's the thing. With a client like Runelite that isn't technically, in any way ran by Jagex, then it's just going to add things over time, thing by thing, and as more things come in, you get more adjusted to the things you have, and then the new things don't seem like they're that crazy, and then you have a million different things. As far as what I feel recently has been OP as can be is the Quest plugin. Now this isn't a plugin that's naturally in Runelite. There's also the plugin hub that you can go to get extra plugins that are more, made by other developers and not necessarily ran in through Runelite. But this has added, even a larger topic, which is just that there's now going to be so many more possible plugins that are just, I guess, even less monitored, even less known about. Not everyone's going to be doing it, so not everyone will think it's OP, but the Quest plugin is so overpowered. Basically, as long as the quest that you're doing is logged in within the system, then it will just show you every single thing that you need to do. It'll show you what you need to bring. It'll show you where you got to go on the map, who you got. It highlights everything. Nothing is in question. You know exactly what you're doing. And while that might sound good, if you've played RuneScape, if you've done questing for the last 15 years, that just doesn't feel normal in any way. Having, the client basically just hold your hand and move your mouse, obviously it's not moving your mouse, but it's telling me where to go, so it's doing all the work for me. And sure, while you'd be like, well, what are you gonna do? You're probably gonna look up a guide and follow the guide or whatever, but I still enjoy the interaction and the search of having to, try to figure out what I'm doing in some way, not just have it totally be put on my screen with a big blue box around it and a little arrow pointing to where to click like I'm just a child that doesn't know what I'm doing. This one was just a lot for me. Really, for, the last 10-15 years, there's been quest guides on YouTube I've always used, and I've always enjoyed them, and I like the, kind of community with it, going to listen to another person's guide and have them help me. It's really enjoyable, and Slayer Music, he ended up making, the best guides, essentially, of questing I have ever seen, and now to just, basically destroy those and just make the blue square and blue arrow that you click everywhere do the thing for you, it's awful. I hate it, and sure, I could turn it off if I don't want to use it. That is true, and we'll talk about that more in a second. Another plugin that equally just irks me, there's many of these, but I'm only going to use the main two because they're the ones that just, to me seem like just absolutely cheating, that we don't even care about. The Quest plugin, not so much, but the Clue Scroll plugin, are you kidding me? This thing has been in the game, in the client forever at this point, and it is absurdly busted. That thing should not exist in the game by any means. It's essentially the quest plugin helper. You know, it does the clue scroll for you, tells you where to go, tells you what to do, tells you the answer, tells you this, tells you that, tells you what to bring. It does everything for you. And not only that, not only does it, you know, hold your hand through the entire clue scroll or entire quest, it also will do the puzzles for you, and it'll do them in the most efficient way imaginable. It's absurd. I am someone that liked clue puzzles a lot whenever I was, you know, growing into the game. I do tons of clue scrolls. I love the clue puzzles. I know most people hate them, but guess what? At the end of the day, you get that reward from the clue scroll puzzle for doing the goddamn clue. I know some people may hate clue scroll puzzles, but at the end of the day, you get that reward from the clue scroll for knowing how to complete a clue scroll. If you don't know how to finish off a puzzle, that's on you. Personally, I mean, if they ended up, you know, taking the clue scroll plugin out of Runelite, I would have no clue how to do a hot and cold clue. But that's a good thing. Make people learn things, make people try different aspects of the game, and make the rewards worthwhile. If you ever done a clue scroll recently, everything, like, basically every ornament kit, every form of anything you can get from the clue scroll, unless it's absurdly rare, it's all worth nothing. And why is that? Because clue scrolls get farmed into the game by implings. They just get brought in at mass amounts, and then the people that are doing them, they do them at maximum speed because everything's so easy. It's all done up for you already, and then everything just gets printed into oblivion. Everything's into the ground. Nothing's worth anything, and here we are. Just at some point, there should be some sort of human element where you can make money in the game based off what you know and how well you're able to do something. And these clients take all of that out of the game. And, you know, if we keep letting quest plugins, clue scroll plugins, this plugin, that plugin come into the game, at the end of the day, there's going to be plugins for absolutely everything. And I think we're just going to be caught in kind of a storm of, you know, who's using the most OP plugins. And I mean, you can already see that. Like, the PKing community is basically dead because of PKing plugins. I mean, there's a lot of other reasons, but at least at the highest tier of PKing, I'd assume everyone just gave up because of plugins. So, I mean, it really is a thing that most regular people don't have to worry about. You have the luxury of just not caring, but there are instances where it definitely affects other people's enjoyment of the game, and that's the point. There used to be previous bossing plugins that would really hold your hand through Zora and through demonic gorillas, and you could really tell that this was starting to take more of a stranglehold on the rest of the game. Jagex then kind of stepped in and said, hey, can you stop it with, you know, the Zora and the demonic gorilla stuff? And I mean, that's cool, but there's so much more that I think needs to be done to kind of, you know, tail this back a little bit. And this section is for the people that would say, you know, turn off the plugin. You idiot, how's it so hard? If you don't like the plugin, click a little button, plugin go off, boom, you're good to go. I get it, you know, I understand what you're saying, and that's... It definitely makes sense. But what I'm going to say is, in a game with a free market, I'm competing against other people for these items. Other people won't value that ornament kit like I would if I turn these plugins off. If I made clue scrolls twice as long for me to do by turning all this off, wouldn't matter. I'm still selling everything for the exact same amount. So in the clue scroll scenario, which is my biggest gripe, because I loved clue scrolls, man, I really did, I tell you what. And now everything is worthless. And I mean, honestly, the way that clue scrolls work long term, most things are going to be worthless. I get that. But these plugins and these different utility tools at different places that just work far too well, you know, they speed up that process a lot, and they don't allow the people to actually enjoy that activity to enjoy that activity. They just make it easy for everyone. And also, I think the same kind of, you know, thought process could be attributed to botting. I feel like everyone in the game that I talk to is always worried about bots. They're like, man, bots are bringing in items to the game. What's that mean for me? How's this going to affect me? What's this do? Well, that's what I'm saying. These plugins are essentially they're not bots, but they're promoting aspects of the game where you're obtaining things without your true ability to obtain them. So, you know, it's not botting. A little bit in my mind, it has the same attributes of it. And of course, whenever people are botting, everyone's worried about it. And I understand that bots do affect the market and it sucks, but at the end of the day, you would want them gone if you could, right? And that's what I'm saying. These plugins, some of them are too OP, and I would like them gone if I could. Now, the thing is, with Runelite being the person that has them, and with Jagex not really, I don't know what the system is in place to kind of keep these in or out of the game. We don't have a polling system like we do in regular game. It's just, there's a lot of variables to it. It's a little wish-washy, and at the end of the day, I just don't enjoy some of the plugins, and I really wish it would get scaled back a bit, but like I'm saying, I just don't know where to go. Ultimately, the more plugin utilities that come into the game, the more we get comfortable with all of these plugins, then they bring in more because we're comfortable with them, and it's just an endless cycle, It's like power creep in RuneScape. Power creep's just going to exist. That's how it is. And when you allow clients like Runelite to go ahead and make quality of life things, they'll keep doing it until it's too much. And then when is it too much? Well, that's when we have to decide, but I don't know how we decide. We just turn them off? Yeah, everyone just turns them off? Then we're stuck in the same scenario where some people can use the advantage and some people would rather not. And, we don't really have a system in place to be able to voice our opinions on it, and I guess that's why I'm just a little disappointed. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I just really had to kind of voice my frustrations with this type of stuff. I know it's not going to be the most popular because, like I said, most people, probably hate certain aspects of the game that they feel that plugins allow them to, go through a little easier. I understand, and I just hope that you can see my side of the fence where I'm just, as someone that enjoyed clue scrolls and enjoyed questing and enjoyed these certain attributes, and now it just feels like such a mechanical, no fun process. I don't even really like doing them anymore. So with that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Anything you want to see from me, anything you want to hear my opinions on, let me know in a comment down below. And on top of that, if you want to see more videos like this as soon as they go live, make sure to subscribe. And with that said, hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and peace.